Although there's competitors now ramping up, and
Yeah.
as you're familiar with BYD, which is also on the West Coast, I think they're ramping up production of their electric vehicles. Warren Buffett owns 10% stake in that. Why do you laugh? BYD is trying to compete. Why do you laugh?
Have you seen their car?
I have seen their cars, yes. In fact, at the Berkshire Hathaway meeting, I saw their cars.
Yeah.
Well, they are on a different, tell me why you're laughing. You don't see them at all as a competitor?
No.
Why is that? I mean, they offer a lower price point.
I don't think they have a great product.
A chemist from one of China's poorest provinces was sitting in a factory in Shenzhen making rechargeable batteries for cell phones. He had no automotive experience. He had never designed a car. His company had no dealership network, no brand recognition outside of China, and no presence in any Western market. That chemist was Wang Chuanfu. His company was BYD, which stands for Build Your Dreams. And in January 2026, that company was officially confirmed as the world's largest seller of electric vehicles, having outsold Tesla by more than 620,000 vehicles in 2025 alone. BYD sold 2.26 million battery electric vehicles in 2025. Tesla delivered 1.64, a 10% decline from the year before, its second consecutive annual sales drop. For the first time in a decade, Tesla was not the EV king. The company that invented the modern electric vehicle era, that put EVs on the cultural map, that made Elon Musk the most famous entrepreneur on the planet, had been overtaken. Not by Ford, not by GM, not by Volkswagen. By a Chinese battery company that most Americans still cannot name. And BYD isn't just ahead in volume, it's ahead in battery technology, in price range, in geographic expansion, in vertical integration, and in the pace of innovation. In April 2026, BYD unveiled a second-generation battery that can add 250 miles of range in 5 minutes of charging. That isn't a concept. It's going into production vehicles this year. In this video, we're going to tell the full story of how BYD got here. We'll break down the Blade battery, the technology that gave BYD its structural advantage, and explain why it matters more than most people realize. We'll show you exactly where Tesla went wrong, why tariffs aren't saving American automakers the way politicians promised, and what BYD's global factory network means for the future of the car industry. To understand how BYD beat Tesla, you have to understand that the competition was never really about cars. It was about batteries. The electric vehicle industry has one structural truth that shapes everything else. The battery is approximately 40% of the total cost of the car. Whoever controls battery manufacturing at scale with the best technology at the lowest cost controls the economics of the entire EV industry. Tesla understood this early. That's why it built the Gigafactory in Nevada. That's why it partnered with Panasonic. Battery cost was the variable Tesla was trying to control. BYD understood it even earlier, because BYD started as a battery company 30 years ago, before it ever made a single car. In 1995, Wang Chuanfu read a report about Japanese battery manufacturers. Sony and Sanyo dominated the market for rechargeable batteries used in the growing mobile phone industry. Their products were high quality, but expensive. Wang identified a gap. If he could manufacture the same battery at a fraction of the cost, using labor-intensive manual assembly instead of expensive automated processes, he could undercut the Japanese manufacturers and capture the market.
He was right. Within a few years, BYD became one of the largest rechargeable battery manufacturers in the world. The batteries in Nokia phones, in Motorola devices, in countless consumer electronics, many were made by BYD. Then in 2002, Wang made a decision that seemed inexplicable at the time. He bought a small, struggling car factory in Shanxi province for roughly $75 million. His investors were confused, his advisors told him the automotive industry was too competitive, too capital-intensive, too dominated by established players. Wang wasn't deterred. He said, "For new energy cars, we believe we can become the global leader. From the technology standpoint, 10 years should be enough." He said that in 2008. In 2025, he was right. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's legendary partner at Berkshire Hathaway, who invested $230 million in BYD in 2008 when almost no one in the West had heard of them, described Wang Chuanfu as a combination of Thomas Edison and Jack Welch. He solves technical problems like Edison and gets done what he needs to do like Welch. I have never seen anyone like him. Berkshire's $230 million investment in BYD grew to over $9 billion at its peak. Munger called it one of the best investments Berkshire ever made.
The race that nobody thought was close. For most of the 2010s, the EV race looked like a foregone conclusion. Tesla was building gigafactories. Tesla was dominating luxury EVs in every major Western market. Tesla's brand was a cultural phenomenon. The Model S, the Model 3, the Cybertruck. Elon Musk was turning car launches into media events. BYD was selling cheap cars in China. The Western automotive press barely covered it. Then the numbers started changing. In 2022, BYD overtook Tesla in total EV sales for the first time, including plug-in hybrids. The industry noted it, but attributed it mostly to BYD's enormous domestic Chinese market. In late 2023, BYD briefly passed Tesla in pure battery electric vehicle sales for a quarter. Still, most analysts treated it as an anomaly. In 2024, BYD narrowly trailed Tesla for the full year in pure BEV sales, 1.79 million for Tesla versus 1.76 million for BYD. Close, but Tesla still held the crown. Then 2025 happened. BYD's pure BEV sales grew 28% to 2.26 million units. Tesla's fell nearly 10% to 1.64 million. The gap was 620,000 vehicles. Not a rounding error, not a statistical tie. A structural shift in who leads the global EV industry. At the center of BYD's competitive advantage is a piece of technology most Americans have never heard of. It's called the Blade battery, and understanding it explains everything about why BYD is where it is today. The battery problem every EV maker faces. Every EV battery is a trade-off between four things: energy density, safety, cost, and longevity. More energy density means more range, but it also typically means more risk of overheating or fire. Cheaper chemistry usually means shorter range or shorter lifespan. Getting all four right simultaneously is the central engineering challenge of the EV industry. Most EV manufacturers, including Tesla, use a battery chemistry called NMC, nickel manganese cobalt. NMC batteries have high energy density, which is why Tesla's vehicles can achieve ranges above 350 miles on a single charge. But NMC batteries have a vulnerability. They can overheat. Under extreme conditions, a crash, a manufacturing defect, exposure to high temperatures, NMC batteries can enter a state called thermal runaway, where one cell overheating causes its neighbors to overheat, creating a chain reaction that can result in a fire that burns at over 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit and is extremely difficult to extinguish. BYD took a different path. They chose LFP chemistry, lithium iron phosphate. LFP batteries are chemically more stable. They don't contain cobalt, a mineral that is expensive, scarce, and primarily mined under controversial labor conditions in the Democratic Republic of Congo. LFP batteries are inherently resistant to thermal runaway, and they last longer. BYD claims their Blade battery can endure over 5,000 full charge cycles before significant degradation, more than enough to outlast the car itself. The trade-off has traditionally been energy density. LFP batteries store less energy per pound than NMC, which historically meant shorter range for the same battery weight. BYD solved that problem with geometry. The Blade, a simple idea that changed everything. Traditional EV batteries are built in a specific way. Individual battery cells, think of them like AA batteries, but for EVs, are grouped into modules. Those modules are assembled into a pack. The pack goes into the car. Each layer of that structure, cell, module, pack, adds weight, takes up space, and reduces the percentage of the total volume that's actually storing energy.
BYD's engineers asked a simple question. What if you eliminated the module entirely? The Blade battery takes individual LFP cells, long, flat, and thin, shaped like the blade of a sword, and installs them directly into the battery pack, stacked side by side, like books on a shelf, forming a structural component of the vehicle floor itself. No modules, no intermediate housing, just cells arranged in the most space-efficient geometry possible, serving as both battery and structural reinforcement. The result is a pack that's lighter than a comparable NMC module battery, has a higher energy density at the pack level despite LFP's lower cell level density, passes safety tests that no NMC battery has passed, including the nail penetration test, where a steel nail is driven through a fully charged pack, and costs significantly less per kilowatt hour to manufacture because cobalt isn't in the chemistry.
Think of it like this. If traditional batteries are bricks arranged in a wall with mortar and framing between them, the Blade battery is a wall where the bricks themselves are the structure. You get a stronger wall with fewer materials. Blade Battery 2.0, the announcement that should terrify every Western automaker. In March 2026, BYD revealed the second generation of its Blade battery. The new cells are 5% more energy dense than the original, but the headline specification isn't the density, it's the charging speed. BYD's second-generation system, combined with their new Super E platform architecture operating at 1,000 volts, can add 250 miles of range in 5 minutes of charging. For context, Tesla's Supercharger network, the best charging infrastructure in the United States, can add roughly 170 miles of range in 15 minutes on a V3 supercharger. BYD's new system adds 250 miles in a third of that time. 5 minutes. You pull into a charging station, walk in, get a coffee, walk back out. Your car has 250 more miles. That's not a future technology. BYD began rolling out compatible flash charging stations across China in 2026 and is deploying the system into production vehicles this year. The most important part isn't even the speed, it's the cost. BYD can roll this technology into a $22,000 compact car and a $100,000 flagship sedan in the same production cycle. No other automaker on Earth can match that combination of performance and price across a full model lineup. BYD's price ladder, something for everyone. This is where BYD's strategy becomes impossible to ignore. The BYD Seagull, a compact EV targeting price-sensitive markets, starts at the equivalent of roughly $10,000 in China. The BYD Dolphin targets the $15,000 to $22,000 range. The Seal sedan, which competes directly with the Tesla Model 3, starts around $22,000 internationally and offers up to 372 miles of range. The Han flagship sedan and Tang SUV occupy the $40,000 to $60,000 premium segment, and the Yangwang brand, BYD's luxury division, offers vehicles above $100,000. Tesla has roughly 5 models across one price tier. BYD has models across every price tier on Earth, from entry-level to hypercar, all built on the same Blade battery platform. That breadth matters enormously for global expansion. Tesla can sell to affluent buyers in Europe and North America. BYD can sell to every income level in every market on Earth.
The story of BYD versus Tesla isn't just about which company sells more cars. It's about which country's industrial model is winning the most important new technology race of the century, and what that means for the global economy. The tariff that didn't work. When the Biden administration imposed a 100% tariff on Chinese EVs in 2024, the political message was clear. American factories would be protected. American automakers would have time to catch up. Chinese EVs would be priced out of the US market. The tariff worked exactly as intended for the US market. BYD has 0 passenger car sales in the United States. It has no plans to enter the American market in the near future. Wang Chuanfu explicitly confirmed the company has no current intent to export to the US or Canada. But here's what the tariff didn't stop: BYD's global expansion.
In 2025, BYD's exports hit 1.05 million vehicles, a 200% increase from the previous year. Europe, Latin America, Southeast Asia, the Middle East, Australia. These markets represent billions of consumers who are not subject to American trade policy, and they are being flooded with BYD vehicles at price points no Western automaker can match.
BYD is now the biggest selling EV brand in the UK. In Germany, the home of BMW, Mercedes, and Volkswagen, BYD registered over 23,000 vehicles in 2025 and set a monthly record in December. In Europe overall, BYD registered 187,657 vehicles in 2025, with December seeing a 230% year-over-year increase. To navigate EU tariffs, which added up to 17.4% on top of existing 10% duties for Chinese-made BEVs, BYD built a factory in Hungary with an annual capacity of 300,000 vehicles. It's building another in Turkey, which has a customs union agreement with the EU. It's building one in Brazil, its biggest market outside China. It acquired a former Ford factory in Bahia, Brazil, which is expected to generate over 5,000 jobs. It has plants operating or under construction in Thailand, Indonesia, Uzbekistan, and Pakistan. Tariffs stop cars at the border. They don't stop factories being built on the other side. What's happening to Tesla? Tesla's decline in 2025 had multiple causes, and it's worth being precise about them. The rollback of the $7,500 federal EV tax credit under the Trump administration hit Tesla harder than any other EV brand, because Tesla was the dominant EV in the American market. When the subsidy disappeared, demand dropped. Tesla's US sales fell sharply in the first half of 2025. In Europe, the damage was compounded by Elon Musk's political activities. His involvement with the Department of Government Efficiency and his public support for far-right political parties in Germany and the UK triggered organized consumer boycotts. Tesla sales fell almost 40% in the EU in the first 11 months of 2025. In Germany, a country where Tesla once had strong demand, monthly registrations fell to levels not seen since 2021. Globally, BYD claimed a 12.1% share of the pure BEV market in 2025. Tesla had 8.8%. Volkswagen, the dominant traditional automaker that has been trying to pivot to EVs for a decade, was at 5.2%. Tesla's strategic response has been to pivot toward autonomy and robotics. Elon Musk has told investors repeatedly that the future of Tesla's value is in its self-driving software and its Optimus humanoid robot, not in the car business. Whether that pivot pays off is a separate question, but it has created a vacuum in the EV market that BYD, Xiaomi, Geely, and other Chinese brands are filling at speed. The bigger picture: China's industrial template. BYD is not an isolated story. It's the latest and clearest example of a pattern that has repeated across multiple industries over the past 20 years. China identifies a strategic technology. The government provides support through subsidies, infrastructure investment, preferential procurement, and research funding. Domestic companies build supply chains that are vertically integrated, cutting costs at every layer. Production scales to a level that no private sector competitor can match without state backing. And then, as the technology matures and prices fall, Chinese companies expand globally. It happened with solar panels. China now manufactures over 80% of the world's solar panels. It happened with lithium-ion batteries more broadly. CATL, the Chinese battery maker, produces more batteries than the rest of the world's top 10 manufacturers combined. It's happening with EVs, and it's happening right now with humanoid robots, as we covered in a previous video. In each case, the Western response has followed the same arc. Initial dismissal, China just copies, followed by alarm. This is unfair competition, followed by tariffs. We'll protect our industry, followed by a recognition that tariffs alone don't close a 10 to 15-year head start in manufacturing capacity and vertical integration. BYD's 2025 victory over Tesla isn't a fluke. It's a data point in a pattern. And the next data points, in batteries, in humanoid robots, in AI, are already visible if you know where to look.
the one market BYD hasn't won. One fact is worth being honest about. In the United States, BYD does not exist as a passenger car brand. The 100% tariff makes it economically impossible to compete. Tesla remains the dominant EV in the American market. Ford's Mustang Mach-E and GM's Ultium platform are gaining ground. American consumers are buying American EVs. But the world is not the United States. There are 8 billion people on this planet, and 330 million of them live in America. BYD is building the infrastructure to serve the other 7.7 billion, at prices that Western automakers structurally cannot match, with a battery technology that is a generation ahead of what those automakers are deploying. The tariff wall around the American EV market buys time. What American automakers do with that time will determine whether the wall eventually becomes a structural moat or a monument to a decade of missed opportunity. In 1995, Wang Chuanfu left a government research job with no money, no investors, and no connections, and started making batteries for cell phones in Shenzhen. In 2008, Warren Buffett's partner called him a combination of Thomas Edison and Jack Welch. In 2025, his company sold 620,000 more electric vehicles than Tesla, the company that created the modern EV industry, and became the undisputed global leader in battery electric vehicle sales. BYD didn't get there by being cheaper. It got there by controlling the supply chain from raw materials to finished car, by inventing a battery architecture that eliminated the module layer and solved the safety trade-off that plagued LFP chemistry, by building factories on 5 continents to circumvent every tariff wall that Western governments erected, and by offering a product lineup from $10,000 to $100,000 that covers every income level in every market that doesn't have a tariff wall blocking the door. Tesla is not finished. Its autonomy technology is real. Its brand in America is still dominant, and its software advantage over BYD remains significant. But the EV race has fundamentally changed.
The company that spent a decade being described as a fast follower is now the leader. The company that invented the category is playing catch-up. And the industrial model behind BYD, state-supported vertical integration, patient capital, and long-term strategic planning measured in decades rather than quarters, is the same model producing the world's fastest trains, the cheapest humanoid robots, and the leading AI models. One country is running a 20-year industrial strategy. The other is running 4-year political cycles. And the scoreboard in 2025 reflects that difference. Subscribe to World Shift and turn on notifications. Every day we bring you the real numbers behind the biggest shifts in technology, economics, and global power. Explained clearly, backed by facts, with no spin. Understanding what's coming starts today. We'll see you in the next one.